Hey everybody, welcome to the Mackey Method podcast. Today we have my friend, my brother, Brandon McCalla, and we're going to be talking about commercial real estate, grief, and everything else in between. Check it out. Brandon McCalla.
Yes, sir.
It's good to have you.
Pleasure, man.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
This podcast episode is, for me, pretty cool because in my life, you wear a lot of hats. So I met you as a client or a business associate. And I would say over the past 6 months or so, we've become friends. I give you a difficult time a lot. But you've become a very good friend of mine. And you're killing this thing that you do.
Commercial real estate?
Commercial real estate, CRE. You're killing it. So it's good to have you here, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
You're like way overdressed. And
man, this is how I dress all the time. I gave you a hard time.
I've never seen you in a suit. But it's cool, bro.
Because you're never in the office with me.
So you change clothes? You like
Yeah, whenever you want to hang out or whatever, I always kind of, switch it up.
It's good to have you here. So so tell me how you got into real estate. Let's start there.
Probably from age 4 to 19, I was a baseball player. Super competitive, traveled across the country playing baseball. It was just me and my dad just traveling across the country, many different teams, probably like 4 or 5 different teams. And then I got a scholarship. So I went to high school, got a scholarship to go to Bethune-Cookman University. And I played baseball there my freshman year. Yeah. And then I stopped playing. I stopped loving it. And then I transferred to UCF. And I saw that they had a real estate program. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I grew up watching $1 Million Listing with my mom. And, I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool show.
So I went in thinking that I was going to learn, how to sell mostly houses, if you will. I was very, very ignorant to it.
Yeah.
I really didn't do too much research, which, thankfully it worked out in the end. I just went into it blindly, man, and I found commercial real estate. Most of the courses were commercial real estate based, commercial real estate analysis, commercial real estate law, things like that. And I realized that if I just apply myself and learn this commercial real estate thing, I could excel, pretty fast.
Wow.
So I started out as an intern at a company called JLO, which I work for now. And I just transferred the energy that I had in baseball over into commercial real estate, man. And it's been awesome ever since.
You competitive out in these commercial real estate streets.
Yeah.
You are a hustler, bro. You call me all the time with deals and stuff.
Yeah,
so
man.
That's what's up.
Yep. I try to look for opportunities everywhere I go. When I'm driving, driving wherever out to eat, going to lunch, I try to look for opportunities for our clients.
That's awesome.
And for friends too, so it's just a lifestyle that I have now, man. It's just a hustle mentality, I think.
Yeah. You started as an intern. What is your title now?
I'm an associate right now.
Associate.
Yeah. So I started out as an intern and then I got promoted to be an analyst.
Okay.
Where I was underwriting properties, doing a lot of research for the team.
Okay.
And I basically learned the Central Florida market during that time. And after that, I got promoted to be an associate to where now I'm on the production side where I have clients, I'm negotiating deals, executing on deals, things like that now.
You trying to get that VP role, right?
I am, man. That's the goal, man. Woo! By the end of the year, hopefully, that's what I'm shooting for. So
what did your numbers look like last year?
My numbers, so I'm on a team of 3.
You on a team of 3?
Yeah. So my other 2 partners is Billy Rodriguez and Colette Santana. We definitely exceeded our goal for sure. I can't say too much, on the numbers side.
I understand.
We hit where we wanted to be.
Gotcha. And the reason why I bring up the numbers because my follow-up thing was I was going to tell your age.
Okay.
So that's why I was going to be like, you're doing this much volume at that age. So we're going to step back and I'm going to say, all right, you exceeded your goal. Well, tell me what your goal was. Is that okay? You feel comfortable saying that?
Oh man, I don't know, man, because there's other companies that are gonna be listening to this. And,
it's in the millions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's doing multi-million-dollar deals, ladies and gentlemen. And this young man is 27 years old.
Yep.
Killing it.
I love what I do. It's very Very rewarding job for sure. Just because with commercial real estate, especially with me, I'm on the retail side. So that's anything related to shopping centers, restaurants, banks, fitness uses. You get to basically shape a city because your day-to-day, lifestyle involves going to shopping centers, going to the grocery store, shopping, retail.
I like that philosophy that your involvement of play and really specifically placing your clients in certain places that makes sense, that really shapes them, which is a lot of people don't realize. It's not just, all right, I'm going to put this person here, but there's so much work that has to go into putting people in certain places that work for their business and for, their end user per se. So,
every brand that we work with, they have different criteria that they need to meet, whether that's income, they like certain co-tenancy where they will only go into a shopping center. They typically favor shopping centers that have another tenant X or whatever.
Yeah.
And they like to be side by side, things like that. So every time you go to a shopping center and you go somewhere, that place didn't just pop up, on coincidence.
Yeah.
Somebody saw that opportunity, negotiated the deal, analyzed the property, and executed on that.
I noticed that in a lot of public shopping centers, there's always a nail salon.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. I mean, nail salons like to be in grocery anchored shopping centers.
Yeah, but this is this is good so that people can understand the way that business thinks. So the Bible talks about how children play in the marketplace, and it's a strategic move for nail shops because what they think they've learned that most women, wives, shop, and it's their time away from the kids, right? I don't know if you know. Well, you ain't married, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
No, we're not. Why don't we talk about that in a minute?
We are going to talk about that.
You're an animal, man.
But it's their time away from the kids.
Yeah.
So while they have their responsibility to get the groceries and different things like that, how convenient is it that a nail shop is right next to the place that you do groceries? It's brilliant. You know? That's why we even have clients that put yoga studios right next to them because, shopping is stressful.
Yeah.
Grocery shopping is stressful.
And that's just one instance. I mean, every tenant, every business that you could think of, especially the national tenants and the regional tenants, they have strict criteria like that.
It's a way of thinking strategically.
Yeah.
So
they see patterns of success, so they try to replicate that across the board.
How is it being a minority or a black commercial real estate advisor or agent or
honestly, man, I
broker?
I think it's a blessing. Actually, I know it's a blessing just because I feel like you can excel really fast because you're all, the eyes are always on you. When I walk into a room, I notice that, people look at me faster. I kind of stick out, especially at like conferences and things like that. Now the industry's gotten a lot better with diversity. Especially our company's actually doing a great initiative to recruit diverse talent as well. So I'm really proud of what commercial real estate is doing right now on the diversity front. But there were people that blazed the way to where there was a bunch of situations where people were the only person in the room and they had to excel, had to be twice as good. Yeah. As it is with a lot of industries, so I'm very blessed to be African American in commercial real estate because I think it's a huge opportunity for just this generation.
You'll be shocked the looks I get when I go pull permits and they're like, who's the qualifier?
Yeah, and I'm actually excited because earlier this year, I mean, we started doing some business together where, I executed on a deal with Ivy Nutrition in Altamont.
Now you said that name, but you couldn't tell me your numbers. That's cool. You see how you play?
You want me to tell the story?
No. I mean, absolutely. Go ahead.
I actually called you the other day and brought this up.
You did. And this was a very historic, to me, in our business, and I'm sure, even sure to you, and I'm even sure to our client, where in this transaction, it was a African American owner. The client was African American. The broker is African American, and the contractor is African American.
Yeah.
And the deal has been amazing.
Yeah.
And all you people keep stealing my magic tickets because she took mine too. So the beautiful thing is that you are starting to see the changing of minorities taking the leadership role in certain market sectors. And I don't know if even in her, and let's talk about, I don't want to talk too much about her, but she's a massive leader. I actually had a chance to sit down. I don't know if you sat down with Unique, but she's a massive leader in the healthcare space.
Yep.
Like, you know, she was one course away from being a doctor. Like, she can do practically any and everything. But for her to blaze this trail of doing something different, where, especially in that industry where there's not a lot of minorities, is awesome, you know? So, and to see you killing it in commercial real estate is awesome. So
yeah, I appreciate that.
Kudos for that.
I was excited, you know, when we got that deal done for sure.
Yeah.
And I was even more excited to bring you in on the GC side, just because, you know, seeing that happen is just awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. And I call her every day, you know, and she's very excited to work with you. She says you're awesome as well.
Thank you.
She says you're always on top of it. So
I try to. So you're commercial real estate. Let's talk about you getting married, bro.
Wow, you really went there.
He doesn't want me to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm
really
going to talk
there.
about it. My sole mission is to get Brandon McCalla married. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, I like that you are single because most of my friends are married. And let me say this the right way so people don't get it wrong. But there's times where, as a, you know, in this business and in this industry, where I want to go hang out with someone and they're not always available because they have kids and a wife, and so do I. But sometimes my wife is one place, I'm another place, and the kids are with the nanny, and I have time, but usually, you know, people have kids and games and stuff like that. So it's good to be able to call
up your boy,
who ain't got no kids. Ain't got no wife.
I'm always available, man.
Always
available for you.
You're from Miami, right?
South Florida, yeah. So in an area called Miramar, which is west of Miami.
Okay, gotcha.
And then my family is actually Jamaican.
Okay.
So both my mom.
Do you speak the language?
Nah, man, I'm not even gonna
there?
try. No, I was born in Hialeah, but our house was in Miramar. So both of which are in South Florida.
You've been in Central Florida for how long?
I'd probably say about 4 years now.
Really?
Yeah. So when I graduated, I just never left.
Okay.
You know, I felt like Central Florida was really my speed.
Okay.
You know, South Florida, you know, there's a ton of density down there.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's a lot.
People
you
ask
know?
us to go there for work, and we're like,
I love to visit.
Visit's
It's an
nice.
amazing place to visit and hang out. You know, and I love to see my family and hang out with friends down there, which I still have. But Central Florida, there's something about Central Florida that I'm just really drawn to, and it's just, I like the pace here, and I like just the hospitality here everywhere. I mean,
yeah.
It's so easy to go up to people and talk to them. I mean, everybody's so friendly here, you know, and I think that's really what I love about Central Florida.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Our podcast is all about how people overcame things. And I know one of the things that you overcame in your life is your mother passing away and dealing with cancer, I believe.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer.
Yeah. So talk to me how that was for you, finding out the diagnosis and the journey of how you and your family overcame that.
It was a crazy rough time for my family. I mean, crazy rough. And when we found out, it was actually right after my graduation.
Wow.
At UCF.
So she saw you graduate.
She saw me graduate.
Awesome.
And literally the day I graduated, we went out to eat, and she's like, "Hey, you know, I'm going to get some things checked out at the doctor because I haven't been feeling too well." So the way she said it, I knew something was off. And she was like, yeah, you don't have to come to the doctor with me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm coming. So the next day I drove down to South Florida with her and with the rest of my family. And we went to the doctor, and she got diagnosed with extremely late pancreatic cancer.
Wow.
And the doctor literally told us and her that she has weeks to months to live.
Wow.
So, 9 months later, she was out, and it was a crazy, painful process. I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, cancer is just a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And it affects your entire family, because everybody was close with her. Co-workers, at her funeral, there was like 40 nurses, because she ran a whole floor at Hialeah Hospital.
Wow.
And her whole entire floor, all her staff that was under her showed up for her funeral, and it was an incredibly special moment. But to overcome that, it involves like community, man. I mean, like something like that you can't keep inside you.
Yeah.
And as guys, and even a lot of women sometimes, they keep things inside.
Yeah.
But something like that, it just gets so heavy that you have to express it, and reach out and seek help. And that's what I did. I had great resources, whether it was people at work, family, therapy. I think that's a great thing too that helped me out. And you really turn a negative into a positive, because she's always with me.
Absolutely.
Everywhere I go, I wear this watch that she got me. So when I was younger, I wanted this Michael Kors watch so bad. And when I got accepted to UCF, she got it for me.
Awesome.
And it broke for a while. And when she passed away, we got it fixed. And it's like she's like holding my hand every day.
Yeah.
So things like that really do help me a lot.
Absolutely.
Just because it's so special, and I have that tie with her.
Yes.
I talk to her every day.
Yeah.
I pray to her. Sometimes she shows up in my dreams. So
that's awesome.
It's.
Does she when she shows up in your dream? Does she tell you to get married?
She hasn't said that.
Brandon, get married.
Yeah, man, she hasn't said that.
But it's awesome, and I think it's important that people understand that having a loved one deal with a sickness is one thing, right? Losing someone because of that sickness is another thing.
Yeah.
The grief behind losing someone is an entirely different thing.
She's my guardian angel, so
yeah.
I'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
You'll be all right. So what's next, man? You want to vice president? What's next for you? What else? What are you personally striving to do? What's the end goal?
The end goal, man, that's a great question, man. I just want to make a difference, for the generation behind me. That's really why I strive for excellence, really, in everything that I do. I want to be an example for the next Brandon that's looking to get into commercial real estate, whether that's work-wise, family-wise, ownership-wise. I that's what I want to do. Anything I do, I just want to be the best at it. I want to give 100%.
That's right.
So whether that's being an investor in something, development. I see myself being a broker for a while, though. I really do like what I do, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It gives me a sense of like adrenaline, the chase. Like I like getting after it and chasing it.
There you go. That's awesome.
That's what I like.
Well, Brandon, I appreciate you being on my podcast. Man. Thank you so much.
Of course. Anytime, man. I'll be back.
You'll be back.
I'll be back. I might even take over. Yeah. Might even take over.
Thank you, Brandon, for being here.
Of course, man. Of course.